everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Papal States campaign. So, in between episodes here, I have been a good TV chef and I've prepared to move my armies into position of attack against the enemy. It's kind of interesting here, as I've been loading up the saves. Quite recently, because you see the map of the territory you control as you load up the different saves, and quite recently we've seen how Italy, or the Papal States, have really shrunken. We're back in control of just Italy now. But before, I really ruled the world. Very European-centric, but there you have it. I still rule the world, but through client states. All around. Anyways, so I've tried as best as I can to prepare without coming to any major battles. So down south we've got the Guard army, which is now going to move up and take control of Croatia. We might need a little bit of experience. We only lost 120 men against their 500. Although I don't think you get much experience from killing militia. Oh, good replenishment rate. That's really good. I'm really surprised that it was so high, but I'm guessing it's this small arms factory which gives 3% replenishment rate. It would be better, of course, to have a supply depot which could give a maximum of 6, but this works as well. So I'm thinking these guys, they're not going to go for a direct confrontation with Vienna because, well, they would not be able to stand up with this kind of army. Instead, I'm thinking we're going to go down through here, through this side, and kind of maybe move in on around these 4 areas, see if we can maybe help the Russians get through, or if the Russians want to concentrate on going after the Poles. Then we got Pietro. I'm thinking for Pietro, I could be moving him towards Vienna to... That would maybe be the best option, actually, to move towards Vienna and draw this army into a battle, so that I could actually take Vienna, like we're making. Otherwise, my idea was to go up towards Prague, and then we would attack this in kind of a pincer maneuver, where Gambrelli comes from the north, goes for Berlin, and then heads down, and then Pietro would come up, and they would kind of meet here. But seeing as though the strength in this region, at least, is kind of in Berlin, and there's nothing there, and there's nothing really in Prague, it might be better to go for their strong points and see if we can't come to a battle here. What I could do is I could see about sitting somewhere along the forest area and possibly ambush an army that moves forward through there. And yes, maybe I should send you forwards already. Actually, no. Well, I could send him up to... The thing is, they're within attack range from here, aren't they? Actually not. They would not be able to strike us in one turn. Or at least what my spy tells me. What I could do is I could try and sabotage the army, and we were successful. Great. Then there's no chance of this area being taken out, and I could move forward far enough that we still get replenishment rate, but I would still be able to quickly jump through and get to here. Maybe I should even go up to here, and then we'll cross the bridge like that to get to the place. I would traverse more terrain without a road, so maybe the safer option is to stay right here. And then the agent might actually go ahead of me and see if there's an... I should have probably done that first. to see if there's anything here. I doubt it. However, there was something right here. There's another army right here with direct access towards this area. It wouldn't be that bad just running around taking over these areas constantly and taking them away from the French. Goes just as well. Another option here would actually have been to move up here and then trying to make it for Budapest. But so far my spies have yet to been able to establish spy networks in the new areas we've taken control of. With the spies, that is. But yeah. Okay, so we've set up these two armies. Now let's go for the Battle of Berlin. We're gonna retake Berlin for the Prussians. It's kind of interesting here. Like, most of the army is actually German troops fighting for Napoleon. Very few French troops are actually part of this army. There's 2 French grenadiers, French veteran, and 1 unit of conscripts. Then we've got Bavarian grenadiers, Bavarian line infantry, and then we've got Saxon grenadiers, and I imagine maybe these are Saxons as well. Grenadiers von Winkelmann, and Confederation of the Rhineland there as well. Enough talking though. Let's go ahead and strike and take control of Berlin. My army's on the move. What we can see right here is from this side we've got hussars advancing on the open ground on this side, and then we've got 3 units of infantry, 4 units of grenadiers, another 3 units of infantry, all the light troops, and the dragoons. So with the terrain that the enemy has, there's...
Sir, our general is under attack.
Damn. I was a little bit worried about that. Just lost a battery. I'm hoping maybe they'll focus in on my grenadiers more so than my cannons. I think the thing is I want to roll the cannons close enough to the edge here that if necessary I can turn them down to canister, firing down into this area if need be. Let's give more direct orders to where everyone needs to go. So there's kind of impossible terrain here, and then obviously there's the hill here. Currently, what we can see of the enemy is they've got their troops arrayed here with 2 batteries over here and then 1 battery situated over here. And unfortunately, of course, I've lost a cannon, and it also took out 2 of the general's bodyguard. As I recall, they didn't have much cavalry, so if they're gonna go ahead and throw away their very strong guard dragoons right off the start here, as the AI usually does though, that would definitely be great for me. We're going to order the 2 hussars into order. Where are the Winkelmanns? Why have I not been able to see the Winkelmanns? Guns are in good position. We'll set them up to return fire on the enemy. I think we found them. We found the Saxons. And it's the light grenadiers as well. So we've got life guard grenadiers. That was what those red Saxons were. Okay, so it looks like they're a little bit slow on bringing up the troops here to cover their flank as they're moving in to meet us. I'm gonna move this part forward, and we should start to move these forward as well. My light troops are absolutely massacring what's left of those dragoons. Let's get the light troops forward.
As the light troops can quickly move away, I've got the dragoons behind to move forward into the attack. As of right now, you know what? I want you to return fire on the batteries on the hill. Let's focus on that instead. And then the troops should be firing down on the French troops, which seem to be moving in first. So we got French line infantry, and then the Bavarian Grenadiers. I thought it was the French Grenadiers. The French Grenadiers are just behind, followed by the conscripts. They're moving in into the cauldron of death. Their cannons, I was about to say, they're not even set up, but they are set up. Let's go ahead and bring in the hussars for an attack there. And we can come around and envelop the French troops. At the same time, we got the Saxons making their way through here. Hopefully most of them will be picked off by the light infantry. Gonna head and form square
victory, sir, is soon
right in front of our firing lines. Not great plan, not great plan at all. We've got one Winkelmann's marching up. There's quite a few of them, so I guess there's only 2 Saxons on this side. Right, I'm gonna order in the hussars to go ahead and take control of that, and we're gonna order the cannons to hold fire as that happens. As their cannons are not really that much of a threat, maybe I should move my cannons forward. Actually, what I could do...
Running, sir.
Who's running? Line infantry over here was somehow obliterated by the Winkelmanns, even though the unit in question had been walking straight into our fire for quite a while. With that in mind, I'm gonna order the Grenadiers to retreat. We're gonna switch to canister, and if the French / Saxons want to follow me up the hill, then they can do so and taste some of our canister. If you can fire straight towards the Bavarians, that would be great. And you should as well. Let's go ahead and just have the 24th form a line, and then the Lesiers will form behind them, or at least to start off here. Troops retreating. What do we have here? Local partisans. That should be easy enough to defeat. Let's go ahead and attack them, and then bring the hussars up, ready to attack. Looks like the enemy's assault on us. Their attack was blunted. With that, we're gonna hold fire, and we're gonna move the Grenadiers up here again. Oh, there was a lot more troops down here than I thought. Currently, this unit's getting hit really hard. I'm gonna change positions a little bit on them. Don't want to commit the hussars just yet to go down through there. What we can do is maybe shell that area a little bit. Let's order this hussar to follow them and make sure they don't come back. Got French line infantry moving forward. Knights of Bavarians again. They've been picked off by my light troops to the point where not much is left of them. My hussars going through, they're snagged onto the general staff.
We have killed their general, sir. Now
And
they
their
must
enemy,
break.
or the general, is killed. What remains is these troops right here. Can I get some few bouncing shots through this? You will face this one. Well, you march up here. And then you gain ground, and you gain ground. The light troops can advance and give an opening for the dragoons to set their sights on this. Let's have these hussars turn around, and let's see if we can't smash the enemy over here. I feel like the enemy down here is softened up well enough that an attack coming in from all sides would probably do quite well here. Okay, they are broken. That opens up for the dragoons to move in. Hussars coming in. Let's lock those guys in place. Dragoons attack. Cannons hold fire. Hussars come down from the hill. The French troops are surrounded. We're coming in from all sides. The Hussars to hit the Saxons. Overwhelming the French from multiple angles. It's the lifeguard unit that is holding on. Otherwise, it looks like their army is in full retreat. Oh, there's local partisans over there. Go after them. Break them down. I think we've got them all. The battle is done. It's only the local partisans holding up over there. That is the only thing left. Suffered quite a bit of casualties, but that is to be expected since we were fighting the Battle of Berlin. And the Saxon troops performed really well in their task. I was really surprised by this attack right here. I saw the Saxons marching in line right in front of us as we were firing at them. And then they started opening up and they managed to break the unit that was right here. And we can see by their bodies that the Saxons were able to deliver some devastating fire onto that unit. With that said though, the Battle of Berlin is won. I thought my casualties were higher, but I guess they were more concentrated to a specific amount of units. We deployed about roughly 5,000 men each, where the enemy of course lost everything, while I only lost 1,200 men. I thought I'd lost more. About 150 of those were self-inflicted though. When it comes to the kills, it's the hussars that bring in the most, followed by line infantry, another hussar, line infantry, and then a grenadier unit. The artillery fired some canister, but it was not enough to bring them up on the top 10 list. And with that, we have taken control of Berlin. Now, the best thing is probably to hand it over to the Prussians immediately, because I imagine that the Prussians will not be too happy about me holding on to this. And secondly, before Dresden and the French manage to recover, we should attack directly there. Now, I might want to wait to recover some of this, but I think the opportunity we have here to strike at them and keep the momentum going is too much to not bring up. So I think the key thing to look out for here is that it's all German troops. Before there was a few French units, now it's all German. Besides the Grand Battery. That one's gonna be... If that one is set up properly and actually fire upon us, that will be devastating. Usually the AI doesn't do that though, so this should be easy enough. So let's go ahead and go from battle to battle. And here it is, the massive battery. They've got 10 guns, 9 to be exactly. Oh crap, they're the Cuirassiers are making an advance against us. That's one hell of a battery. I was just thinking, the map is completely flat, how gonna mess it up? There actually is a tiny bit of an increase right in front of the cannons here. And so most of the cannonballs are actually hitting into the ground. Right. Let's go ahead and organize this a little bit better. The enemy reinforcements coming in through here, and it's kind of a lot of tough units coming in there. Alright. Let's get the troops in order, and the grenadiers. This battle is going to be a little bit tougher than I thought. We've got another unit of Saxon Foot Guards. We know those are tough guys. They actually got 2 of those. But then there's also a lot of militia. A lot of the center of the troops right here. That was all light troops. Local partisans moving straight towards my artillery. Switch to canister. These infantry regiments that have lost quite a lot of men will move forward towards here. Maybe I can see about intercepting the Cuirassiers before they're able to do too much. These guys not gonna have a good day. These need to be moved before any other troops are able to move forward. Okay, they are moving in on to the attack. You will be moved into square, and the other 2 units will be moved into support positions. I wonder if the positions... the light troops should have easy enough access to shoot these guys down. Actually, I might actually have to form all 3 of them into square. This Cuirassier unit, those are pretty strong. Okay, finally we broke one. Let's get these two forward. What's this? I'm gonna order these two. Oh, they're getting hit by the Grand Battery. Let's continue moving forward through here. Okay, they've opened up on my Dragoons. But I should be able to get my Grenadiers up and ready to be able to fire upon them. I'm gonna set up the Dragoons over here on the other side of the wall. As soon as the enemy turns to face these guys, the Dragoons will strike. At the same time we are breaking up this. Now we do not have okay, the cavalry was seen off. We need to go into line again. As we drag more and more of these troops into that, that will allow for my hussars to swing around and come at the back. I don't think they have the strength any longer, the cuirassiers, to actually break our lines here. Saxon Schütze. Turn and start to move in on these. Oh, they're still firing on my Dragoons. Right, we're gonna move even closer then. I'm hoping most of these will turn in towards this area right here. And then I can swing the hussars around. Well, now they've realized that the Grenadiers are coming close. We smash them from both sides. Not a very impactful charge by my Dragoons, but I'm not going to be too bothered by it right now. You're getting fired up the flank. Let's go ahead and switch your position. The hussars need to be pushed in. Fire cannonballs through that. The light troops are holding on against the partisans. We were able to... it's a bit touch and go. The Dragoons did not like the situations. Oh, the enemy cavalry is on the move.
Our men are running, sir.
Who's running? Ah, it was this one. The Badischen light infantry is dealing with them. I want to unnerve these guys a little bit by having the cavalry attack. This guy does not... Crap, I forgot to move these into square. I wasn't sure if he's going to go after them. We're going to need the cavalry to join in here. And then these units will be turned slightly on an angle so that the cannonballs don't just bounce up through the stronger points of it. And then we'll have the hussars move in on their attacks. The artillery continue to bombard this area right here. We did quite a bit with the hussars. It's going to be really difficult to approach the big battery. Alright, my hussars going in over there. Let's make sure that we get rid of this one. We're holding up a lot of units, but in the long run the hussars are not going to hold on to that fight. So we're going to go through.
Our men are running, sir.
Let's go through here, and then you'll advance. See if my light troops can get better positions. Oh, they're back. I think my guys can shoot them down. What is the battery aiming at? It's not aiming at... It's aiming somewhere over here. The Hussar's going straight through all of it. It's forming a line. hit these guys and kind of move out of the way. I want my light troops to move up on this ridge. Let's have the hussars move through. These hussars are back. Can I get all the line infantry? We kind of form a line against the enemy there. Okay, I'm gonna push them up here a little bit. We're gonna get very close to them. The ground battery is firing at something over here, so I think we're kind of safe at advancing here. Could be difficult, but we'll make an attempt. The cannons, once more, I want you to fire into the mix here. And then the hussars can come from this angle. And the hussars can actually come through kind of from down here. It might be a little bit safe from attacks. I'm gonna send in the cavalry first. And we're gonna try and break that unit. Saxon musketeers. And before it's too late for them to react. Whoa, the amount of troops they just completely ran over there. But now they need to get out of there before they get crushed by the cuirassiers. We're gonna form into square, and I'm gonna order these guys to move out of the way. Light troops move up. Okay, they attacked over there. I want the second hussars to go in through here. I want the battery now to focus in on the enemy cavalry.
Victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Let's see, we're coming in from all sides now. Let's see if we can't get them as best we can. We've lost a lot of men through all of this, though. It's all partisans. Approaching the light troops is a death sentence for all these shit units. The hussars will attack there, and they will aid, hopefully just enough so that the second hussar unit doesn't die, and that I maybe can disengage them. Cavalry go through, grenadiers move forward. Third grenadiers and first grenadiers are both broken down by the Saxon musketeers. But the Saxon musketeers in turn are being broken apart by my light troops that are crushing them. Okay, so my hussars broke, and we're gonna have to stick that fight out. Oh. Hold. And open fire. Enemy Schutzen. Light troops start to advance. Right. You killed enough there. Let's move back. Let's move out of the way. Continue chasing after these. Make sure they don't come back. This one, I'm a little bit worried that he's going to come back, so I'm going to send this Voltigeur unit to set up just so he fires on that one. Otherwise, it looks like we're sending most of them back. Move forward. Yeah, they did come back. I'm gonna allow you to be the one to deal with them, and we're gonna send everyone forward to attack the remnants of what's left of the enemy. And I've got him surrounded. My cannons firing towards the general. Actually, I'm gonna detach a second unit of voltigeurs to deal with him. I'm gonna take up position here, shoot down the local partisans. Really what it is the general's unit. Once that one is gone, I've won. And I don't want to send in my cavalry. No, they're still actually active and fresh. We want to hit these guys a little bit more before we go ahead and send in the troops for the final attack. I guess the artillery position is not able to... Oh, what's this? Turn around and get those Saxon Schutzen. I'm gonna bring up the general here and support these guys. I'm surprised we're not actually getting any further than we are, given the amount of the volume of fire we're putting down on the enemy. But at this point everyone's very tired. This unit's actually not doing too hot. Bloody Saxons. Maybe if they'd put up this kind of fight when the French first invaded. Let's see if we can't get rid of this bastard. And as we do, the rest of the force will move up. The general has arrived. I'm gonna go ahead and inspire this one, which is able to level pretty good fire into the flank there. Maybe move a little bit closer. And then maybe you can spread out a little bit more. Alright, the Grenadiers, we're able to deal with those. I want them to continue to advance on the enemy. And then, you know what? Form into line. So you can actually fit in between here. And then fire at these. With the general coming and overseeing this area, the fight changes in the favor of the light troops. My artillery is not really able, doesn't seem to be able to hit the... Now it has to fire through the bloody wood, but there's a risk here of me shooting cannonball on my own troop. Right, Grenadiers set in position. The cavalry is moving in to the cauldron of death rather than out of it. Not really enough enemy troops are dying in this bloody fight. I'm gonna move in the general to support, and then we need to end this by having the troops attack from all sides here. The general following with the troops here. And we've got them completely surrounded. They are broken. Victory is achieved. Another great victory. However, this time around I lost half of my army. The enemy again lost about 5,000 men, leaving 300 after this battle. The bad thing though is my 3,500 men deployed, and we lost close to 2,000. 1,844, leaving 1,752. All units intact though, no one was completely destroyed. In terms of highest kills, it goes to the Hussars, followed by the Dragoons, followed by a Grenadier unit, which is the one with 115 remaining. So that would be... I can't remember which that one is, but those were the 3 top ones. And yes, that's the battle. And the enemy is pushed away. Now, I guess I can liberate this as the Saxons, but I'm sure the Prussians will just go ahead and declare war on them immediately. But we do like smaller factions, so that is what I'm going to do. Replenishment rate in this region is horrible. It also protects me a little bit from French counterattacks, and it gives me some respite that I won't be like pushed around or whatever from you know, losing the territory. With that, we're just gonna go ahead and hand over Berlin. The British don't really like me. They really think I'm too strong of a force on the continent. Hello, Prussia. I just was out walking and I found your capital. Have you mislaid it? Usually they don't just take it, you'll have to offer a little bit of money as well. Oh, how gracious they took it. Wonderful. We're gonna head over there and make sure that we get the replenishment we need. Currently, they're not too angry with each other, the Saxons and the Prussians. That will probably change, though, quite rapidly. We're getting closer and closer to the end here. The French started off with quite a few territories, but now they're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they had 10 to start off with. Now they only have 7. And they're losing money rapidly and troops. They can't rebuild their army as they can only get sort of basic troops out here. I bet even Napoleon's army is probably filled with Germans at this point. Let's go ahead and just check their status. So they're affluent. I think they've lost yet another level on that. But the more important bit is their power level. The power level has gone from terrifying to mighty. We're really looking at the end of Napoleon here. How is he going to manage this when he's beset on all sides and slowly losing territory? Wonderful, but I'm not going to say anything more because we need to end this episode right here. I've done 2 battles and that's plenty enough for this episode. So I will go ahead and say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.